Hello all. So welcome to our Selenium with Java series. In this tutorial, we will be seeing how we can handle and automate the web tables. Okay. So we will see what is the structure of web table, how it renders on the HTML DOM, and then what and all operations we can do by using Selenium and Java that we are going to see. And also we will see couple of XPath and CSS selector patterns as well to handle the web table. Okay. So now let's think about how exactly a web table looks like and what is the structure of the HTML. Okay, so a basic HTML table normally contains the T head. T head is nothing but the header, or we can say the column. I mean the header section where it will just give you the information about what these columns are all about. So this is basically your T head. This particular first row is, and it is optional. Some of your applications may have T head, some of your applications may start directly from the T body. Now what is T body? So T body is where actually your actual data contains there. Okay, now it has again two components. One is the entire data is called as T body, then each row is noted as tr, and each cell means each column of each row is noted as td. So this is th, this is td, and this is also tr only. The only difference is that your if it is coming under t head, then this will be considered as th. That is the only difference. Okay, fine. Now let's see how it looks like. As I was telling, it should be like a table. The tag name is table. So whenever you will inspect a particular table, it will be noted as a table as a tag name. I will show you that. Now let's quickly go to this, and I will do one thing. Right click on this table. Let me just refresh real quick, and then right click and then inspect, and you will see something like this. And let me move it up. So here you can see it is a table which is having some id, and then t head. As I was telling, this is the header part only for informational. Then the t body starts. Okay, if I am highlighting here, you can see the entire table is highlighting, and this t body can have multiple trs. As you can see, one, two, three, there are three rows are there. Under th also there is a tr, but if I expand this, it will be th. Individual is th. So that is the difference between t head and t body. Fine. Now each tr, as I was telling, it can have multiple tds. Tds are nothing but the cells where the actual data contains, and this data can be a particular element. So inside your web table, we can have even not only text but other elements as well, like your checkbox, radio buttons, or even you can put text boxes. So you can do anything actually on that. Fine. So that is how it is structurized, actually an html structure of a web table. Fine. Now, so if you see here, there are multiple actions we can perform. Actually, one thing is that like one of the scenario, it can have like this table should contain a cell data as qtp. Now you don't know where it is, so now how do you do that? So you have to fetch each row and each column, and then get the text of that particular cell, and then compare whether the qtp is matching or not. That could be one of this scenario. Another scenario would be, let's say that it's a CRUD operation. The particular screen, CRUD means where you can create an entity, you can read that entity, you can edit, or you can delete as well. So this is a demo application. Let's say that I have a add button here. Now once you click on add button, it gives you a prompt where one row you can add it. So what you can do at the beginning of your test case, you will first count the number of rows. Number of rows means you have to count the number of tr tags actually here. So tr means 3, right? Now after you add that entity, it will become 4. So that is how you can verify. So before it is 3, you add something and then verify whether the row count is 4 or not. The same thing, you delete something and try to see your row count should decrease. That could be one of the other scenario. Now while deleting, how do you know which row you need to delete it? Okay, so for that you need to verify. Let's say that there is a test case which says that, I mean, you need to traverse through each of the row and columns. Wherever it is matching coded ui, you need to check this checkbox and delete this one. So where it will be deleting. Okay, but in this case it is because a static application. So what we can do, we have to traverse through each see the reason see now we are seeing this one coded UI is on the third row, so that's why I can directly go and check this. But in real time there might be 10, 15, 20 rows of data is there, and this particular text can come anywhere actually on your tables. You don't know which row, so dynamically you need to fetch the data, compare the text. Once it is matching, check the checkbox and click on the delete button. So that's how you can do that. So these are the three different kind of scenarios we are going to see today, and we'll see what and all possible selenium methods are available to perform these operations. In this case actually, I mean the last scenario which I said, based on a text, you check the checkbox and click on delete. You can see upon clicking on delete, it is just giving you a text as deleted. Actually the data is not deleting because it is a static. So what you can do, wherever it is matching coded UI, you just select the checkbox which is on my first column of the data. Rows anyway you will have to find it out dynamically. Column means this is my first column and this is my fifth column actually. So you have to click on this delete and verify the delete text got changed to deleted. That's how you will verify that selenium actually clicked this particular row whichever you need. So that is kind of a test scenario. Now there could be another tables where it is not noted as a tr or td, because it's not mandatory nowadays. React applications or even with html also you can what you call put your data as a table wise also without using the tr and td. We call that as a grid actually. I will show you one of the demo where the tag names won't be same as whatever we are learning here. The tag names can be all as div only. Now how do we handle in that scenario? I will show you those things as well. Okay, so now let's move into the IntelliJ. I'll do one thing. I'll just take any of my existing sample and I will paste it and I will say web table, so that it will be easy to get the a template kind of thing, where from here onwards I'm deleting everything as usual. I don't need. Okay, and then the URL also should be changing. The URL is this one. Now I have to launch the URL this one. Okay, fine. Now first thing, let's do one thing. Now I have to get the number of rows actually. So now how can I get the number of rows? Driver dot find element. Oops, sorry. Driver dot find elements actually, because I'm getting multiple elements. Find elements by dot tag name. By dot tag name I can do, which is nothing but a tr. But the problem is that it will give me four different rows, because it will even consider the header part also. You can see the header row is also noted as a tr. Okay, so there could be one instance where you need to identify all the headers are properly displaying here or not. So let's first try that one. For that actually I won't be going to use the tag name. I will be using the xpath actually. Let me show you that. Now here I will put table. See, because I have only one table, I can put it as a table. If let's say that in your application there are two or more tables on your screen, you can even use the id. Let me show you that as well. So here you can say at the rate id equal to table 01. Okay, now here what you need to do, you need to make it as a t head actually. How I know? You can see t head is the this particular row. Now this has many what you call tds are there. You can see if I'm highlighting one th, second, third, fourth, so all are th actually. So can I do like this? So t head of th. Okay, if I do this, I will get all the cells of this particular header actually. Let me show you that if it is really working fine or not. So I will copy paste this entire thing and then I will go to the selectors hub and then I will put like this. You can see it is not working. The reason is that you can see after t head there is a tr actually. So that's why it is not able to identify that. So for this what I need to do, I need to put like this and I need to use this one. You can see it should be Okay, the reason is that it should be at the rate, not exclamatory. See, still it is not coming. The reason is that the single slash, whichever we are putting in XPath, it basically goes to the immediate child. Now you see till th it will work actually. Let me control X. You can see till th it is working. But if I'm putting a single slash and th, it's not coming because in between t head and th there is a tr tag is present. You can see the immediate child element of t head is tr, but I'm mentioning here th. What I can do, even I can put double slash actually to make sure the selenium or the xpath will go to the immediate child. If the immediate child is not found, then it will go to the subsequent child elements. Now if I press enter, you can see it is giving me all these four elements, 1 2 3 4. Now I can get the text and verify against my headers actually. So for this, what I'm going to do, I will copy like this, and then so that's why, see, whenever you have any issues in your script or you're not getting the desired output actually, always try to install this selector sub, I mean keep it handy so you can execute it on the fly. Then these things you can come here, because see, the problem is that if I have any issues in this particular syntaxes, now I'm writing everything and then executing and then identifying that there is some issue here, which is time consuming actually. So first make sure that the syntax is executing properly, then you write your script. Fine. Now this is find elements, right, which is returning me a list of web element. So can I write like this, as usual, list of web element, that is the type, and then I will say that headers I will say equal to, now I can put like this, just import this class. Fine. Now here what I can do, I can take this headers and get the text out of that. For this I have to put use a for loop, and individual elements I have to capture, let's say item or element of headers. Okay, and now here what I can do is out, I can put el dot get text. Now this will give me all the headers of the header text actually of my particular table. Let's right click and run this one quickly. Okay, as you can see, so it found actually there are four columns, but the thing is that checkbox don't have any get text. That's why it is coming blank, but all three columns printed. Now these data you can take it and you can match against your requirement. So that could be one of your test scenario. Now the other scenario would be, now this is my reading the header part, right? So this is reading header text actually, header text or column text. How about reading the t body itself? Like as I was telling, I have to find it out if there is a maybe probably qtp as a text is present or not. How do I see that? So for this, as usual, it's simple actually, but for this actually let me take, because this is only one row, I take in this simpler way actually, th. So t head, I know that under t head I have only one tr only, but in this case I have to traverse through each row and column. So for this, what I can do here, I'll take a list of web element, and this time I'm taking it as a rows. Okay, directly I'm taking it rows, and here I will take a driver dot find elements by dot xpath or css selector. You can use anything. Now let me right click, let me show you all the body actually, the body part. So selectors have, I'm taking like this table, and then I'm taking t body. You can see this will give me the entire body actually. Now if I'm putting tr, I should be seeing three, so three rows are there. Now inside this, if I put th, I will see 0, because the thing is that in each tr there are actually tds are there, so I can put td. So you can see there are 15 elements are present. Because there are three rows, each row 5 elements are there, that's why it is throwing as 15. But at this moment my required data is till tr only, because I am fetching all the rows. Always try to understand the hierarchy, then it will be easy for you. Okay, all the rows I got it. Now each row I need to get the columns, that is what I shown you guys, right? Now can I write like this, so web element of row of rows actually, of rows. Fine. Now in this case, what I'm going to do, so now in each row, so this is my single row. In each row, I need to find it out the all the table, all the data actually. Data is nothing but TD. You can see these are all TD. So can I do like this? So I will put again list of web element because I have multiple columns in each row. So I will say like this, and then I will say columns equal to, and here I will say row dot find elements, because see I'm not going to do driver again because this tr anyway is reaching out to these rows only. So each row, because in each loop one row is representing, so for the first loop this row represents the first row. Now inside this I need to get all the th actually, sorry, td. Okay, th is this one, I'm don't get confused. So in each row the tds I want to identify. So can I write like this, by dot tag name, because see directly I have these things, so I can directly say td. So it means that this will give me all the columns of each row. Now here what I can do, I can put another if loop, sorry, for loop actually, because see first for loop is for number of rows, second for loop would be for the columns actually. So here I will write web element, and I will say column. Column is nothing but the cell data. So directly I can say cell data. Okay, cell data of what? Columns, all the column collections actually there. Now here I will be saying s out, and here I will say cell data dot get text. Okay, so each of the value I am fetching here. What is the problem here? Okay, you can just write like this, and then you can put like this. Fine. Now here you can compare actually, you can even say, let's say you can assert also, if you are using testng you can say assert equal cell data dot get text dot equals, I mean whatever, selenium, qtp, bugzilla, whatever you are requiring. Let's say if you have a test case where, I mean you don't care actually which row which column, but there should be a qtp as a text. So here you can identify like this, if you can say cell data dot equals, okay, and here you can say like this, if it is there your test case is passed, you can write like this. Fine. See here this is cell data is actually my web element. I cannot compare with a web element, rather I need to compare with the text of that. See now the error gone. Now here instead of this if, you can even, what do you call, you can even do the assertions also, test case passed, and you can put a breakpoint also after this. If you, once you identified this one, you can put a here breakpoint. Okay, so like this you can do. At this moment I'm just commenting this one, I just want to print all the data actually. So the first one I have printed all the header text, this will be all the body text actually. So for this let me just comment these things. Okay, and this is actually reading the t body cell data. Okay, like this. Now let's run this. Okay, you can see here it is printing one by one. Let me expand it. You can see functional qtp bugzilla. So these are the first row data. See, this is a button actually, so I cannot get the text because at this moment I'm getting the tds. If I'm right click and inspecting, you can see td don't have text, but inside td there is a input whose value is delete actually. So this is a different approach we will be using to get the text. But at this moment let's not care about that. If you really want to validate that your fourth column or fourth or fifth column should have the input tag, so you can even verify those things like that also. Okay, so those kind of thing you can do. Fine. So we fetched the data from the header, from the body. Now at this moment, the third action which we were looking were depending on a particular text. Let's say that you have to traverse through each of the cell data. Wherever it is matching coded UI, you have to check the checkbox and click on the delete button. Now this is what we will do, which will cover actually the entire functionality, whatever we are doing. Fine. Now let's try to do one thing. Now the same concept we will be using here also. So for this, let me just comment all these things. And because it is a multi-line comment, so in between I'm removing. Fine. But the same concept I will be using. So I will copy this one. I'll paste it here. Fine. Now at this moment, I'm taking the tr as usual, the rows, columns I'm taking. But here what I'm going to do, here I will be writing coded UI. Okay, because if it is matching coded UI, then what you need to do, no test case passed. Actually here you need to click on the checkbox actually. So wherever the coded UI is matching, what I need to do, I need to check this checkbox. Now this checkbox is nothing but one of the item from these columns. Okay, this columns is basically holding this one, this one, this one. So this entire five data actually it is holding these columns, and we are taking each data just to compare the text. So can I write like this? As I know this checkbox is present on the first index, can I write like this, columns dot get of 0. Get of 0 columns is basically each rows entire data, actually multiple data. Now when I'm putting get of 0, it means that it is representing to this one, actually to this element. For an instance, let me show you that. So tr of, let's say 3, which is this one, so which is third loop. Now this if condition will satisfy on my third loop, which is nothing but tr of 3. Now tr of 3, when I'm putting td, this is 5 elements it is giving me. Now this entire td is nothing but these columns indirectly. Now this of, if I'm saying 1, now this is nothing but first column. Now because it is index here, so whenever you are using the xpath, the index starts from 1, but whenever you are using the get method, the index starts from 0. That is the only difference. Now here can I do like this? Now here I will say dot find element. See, columns dot get of 0 is giving me this element. This element is nothing but td actually. Now let me show you that. This is not exactly that input. You can see this is that, but inside this input is present, which I need to click it. So I have to do like this, find element by dot xpath, I can say, or by dot tag name, and there is only one input. You can see there is only one input. Okay, and I have to check this one. Check means I need to click this one. That's how you will check this checkbox actually. Now second thing what I need to do, I need to click on this delete button. Now this delete button is present in where actually, if I put here as 5, you can see it is coming in this one. Now here also the same thing, you can see td is this one actually, but inside this input is there. Now if td of 5, it means that, can I write like this, so one index less actually here, so 4 dot find element by tag name input, because this button is also tag is input, and under this td I have only one input tag only. If you have multiple, you can use the, what you call, the value also you can use as a identifier. So in this case I'm doing. Now once I'm done with this, now what will happen, this value is changing to deleted. So let me show you that. For the first time it is delete. When I'm clicking on this, it is changing to deleted actually. So this value I want to identify whether it is deleted or not. So here I can print even that one also. So what I can do, after it will click the same element I'm taking, and then I will say dot get attribute of value, get attribute of value. So this will make sure me that whatever, if I'm clicking on this delete, so this is my checkbox. Okay, checkbox click, and this is my delete button click, delete button click. That's how you will be identifying. Fine. Now at this moment, how can I verify whether my Selenium clicked this particular button or not? In real time, if you have a dynamic application, you can again count the number of rows. How can you count the number of rows? See here, once you get the rows, you can even print this one also. So you can say rows dot size. Oops, rows capital R, rows dot size. You can print like this. So this will give me the number of rows actually. So initially it will be 3. Once you click on this delete button, you can verify directly here that there should be only 2 rows present actually. You can again call this rows equal to driver dot find element, this one dot size again, so which will give me the latest size or latest row count of that. But because it is a static application, I'm just verifying the attribute or the button value changed from delete to deleted. So this will print me the deleted text. Let's see if this is really working fine or not. So for this, let me just run this. Okay, as you can see, it clicked, and also it clicked on the deleted, and it will print me the deleted also, just to verify that. You can see after coded UI it clicked on the deleted. These are all because of this s out actually. I can write, I cannot write, but yeah, you can see it checked the checkbox. We have seen that UI wise, and then it clicked on the delete button. That's why the value is appearing as deleted. So that's how you can identify and verify as well. See, our concept is not to fetch the data actually. What we will be doing by getting the data, you have to verify against something, right? If I am adding something, like at the beginning I was telling, you can click on a add button, you add some entity, verify that the row count should increase. So those kind of things you need to verify actually here. Fine. Now one more thing I wanted to show you guys. This is all in XPath I'm giving, right? Even I have the CSS syntax as well. Let me show you that. So because I have only one table, I'm directly writing, and this is becoming my CSS selector. Okay. Now if I'm giving a space, and here I will say T body. Okay, which will give me only one only. Now space, I will say TR, which will give me 3 number of rows. Now in this case I cannot write like this actually. You can see it is an invalid CSS selector. So for this, what we can do, an alternate is nth child, and then in bracket I can put 1 actually. You can see it is giving me the first row, it is giving me the second row, it is giving me the third row, nth child of 3. Now here I can again say TD. You can see it is giving me all the elements. See, till TR it is giving the entire row. I cannot fetch the data. To fetch the data, I need to enter the TD, which gives me the individual columns actually. Now in individual columns, let's say I want to get the first column data. So I can say like this. Okay. You can see now if I want the second column, I can type like this. So this is one of the CSS selector. Like this, you can identify actually. You can use the XPath or CSS selector, whichever way you need. And there are certain instances where you know already which column the data is there, so direct you need not to loop it actually. You can directly get this. Let's say it's a pretty blank grid table is there, you added something and you want to verify. Why do you want to really go over each row and column actually? You know that there is only one row is there, so you can directly use the tr of nth child 1, so that it always goes to the first row, and then td whatever the data you want, you can use the td, so that you need not to what you call traverse through each of these things. So this indexing definitely will help you when you want to, when you know exactly what position your element is present. But if you want dynamic, then you have to use the what you call the for loop actually. Even you can use the concept of what you call our indexing also, like for the classic way of doing that. Like for an instance, you can do like this: for int I equal to 0, and then I less than, you can say rows dot size, which will give me the number of rows, and then I plus plus. Now inside this you can write like this: rows dot get of I, so that it will traverse through each row, dot find elements by tag name, td. So this will give me the entire column data. So this one again I can keep it into a column actually. Same concept actually. Here I can print like this. So this is my classic way of what you call identifying the data. Now the same thing I will put another one: int j equal to 0, and then I will say j less than what actually, columns dot size. Fine. Now because see, now after row, each row I'm getting the collection of columns actually. That's why I'm putting like this. Now j plus plus, Now inside this I can even type something. It's actually, see, now in this time I want to fetch the individual data, right? So somewhat I'm doing this concept actually. Now this is, I'm hard coding the indexes actually, but how can I write here actually? Ij is dynamic, right? So what you can do, you can put like this. I will do like this: string cell equal to, I will write like this, driver dot find element. Okay, and here I'm taking by xpath, and just observe this one, what I'm doing here. Now here I will put like this. So I'm taking an xpath where I will say table, because I have only one table, and I will say t body. Fine. Now slash, here comes the magic actually. So now here I have to put the tr of I. Okay, and then I have to put td of j. Now this won't accept actually, this one, in this way it won't work. The problem is that I cannot put actually here, and this is dot get text, just mention dot get text. The reason is that it won't take I and j as a variable actually. This becomes a part of my string here. So if I print this one, it will throw me error actually. For this, what I need to do, I need to make this I as a variable actually. This is most important part. So I need to append like this. I need to do like this. Now the same thing, I will make it like this, and then I will append, and then here I will make like this. Now this is something actually where I'm making this one as my, what do you call, as my dynamic I and j value, and it should be here actually, and no plus here. Now you can see the error is gone, and it will be giving me all the details. Just to prove you guys, let me just comment all these things till this one actually, because I need these rows actually to get the size here. Fine. So I'm taking the rows, then each row I'm getting all the columns collection. Now that column collection I am putting into a for loop, another for loop. Now here I'm printing this one, so here I will say cell. Fine, like this I'm doing. Let's see this one. Okay, there is some issue, it is coming. Let's see. Okay, in the same line only it thrown that. What is the issue? Let's see that. So driver dot 2 and here 2. What is this? It might be throwing that no such element exception. There is, okay, no such element exception, because this is coming here. Let's see, let's run this one for the first time, whether it is working fine or not. I want to see actually there. So that is why I said the selectors hub is really helping us a lot. You can see it is giving me the zero element. Why it is? Let's see that. So first let's see one by one. Control X. So this will, anyway, this is giving. Now here it's giving me the three rows. Now if I'm putting a zero, now you can see that is the problem. It always starts from one actually. So what I need to do here, so I need to do something like this. So this should stay as it is, because get of 0 is correct. But to get this one, I have to make it as 1 actually here. So I need to put it as 1. And if I'm making it as 1, it should be equal to. Now let's print this one. Oh, TR is also coming, because see, inside this I need to print it I plus 1. So I can make it as I plus 1 actually here. Okay, so we will do one thing here, not a problem. I will do one thing. So this is 0, right? So this is 0 to 3 it will go. So 0, 1, 2, 3 it will go. So somewhere I will make this one as 1 actually here. Fine, and now I'll make like this. Now let's see, hopefully this will work. I think it printed, yeah. Let's see that. Yeah, you can see all the three rows it printed. The problem is that see, I told you guys, right, when you are using in the code get of index, it should start always from 0, but when you are putting inside the xpath expression or css selector, this should be always starting from 1 only. So that is why we have to do this kind of logic actually here. Now once you got the cell data, you can play with anything, you can compare with whatever test whatever string you want, and then you can even do all these click events as well. Okay, so that is how different ways of what do you call available methods of xpath css selector you can handle the table. So hope by taking these features and these ways of handling, you can able to automate any of applications actually. So that's pretty much it for today. Hope this session is helpful. If please do subscribe to this YouTube channel if you haven't. Thank you for watching.